Hello everyone, blessings to you. I want to do this video about Mollie. I did a tarot session, and I also did another spirit session with Mollie. I heard about 5 things the other day, through the night and yesterday. I want to give you those first of what I heard, and then we're going to get into the discussion of some things that, one, I came across, and everything is making sense now, in most cases of the case, and as well as some unexpected things. If I said that correctly, I'm sorry, I'm tired. I heard the numbers 72, 74, and 76. I also heard Des Moines. I had a vision the other night of a woman. She was showing me somebody. She said, there she is. She's under the hay. She's dead. There's her body. She was like almost in a horse stall of some sort on a farm. The lady had hair to her shoulders, brown, and she had this t-shirt looking thing on, and then she had jeans. I heard football. So the last thing that I heard political, and I didn't understand that until it hit me. And Des Moines, if I didn't say that, but I think I did, that was the last thing I heard. So I saw the woman, and I heard the other things, and I thought to myself, what could that mean? But I'll get into that in a minute. So I want to go over some of the findings first. You guys on here are amazing, by the way. To know that most of our Diane and I, our leads came through. I am very happy to know that a lot of the stuff, a lot of it was verified, validated, and I'm really seriously glad that Mollie entrusted me with helping her. I kind of felt almost at a loss, like maybe I wasn't hearing her correctly, but everything was coming so quickly, and so answers, boom, 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 and visions, and smell of taste. You ever smell earth, wet, like wet dirt? Like, I was getting the smells of that, and I just, it was tough, the feeling of her energy on my skin, and then feeling pains everywhere. I was in pain for days. That's why in my previous video, I said I was in bed for a few days. I had major neck pain, and I felt sick, and I felt, after I do spirit sessions, I get sick. If I take on a case that I know that someone's life was taken, I prepare myself, because I know that's what's going to happen to me. I'm going to feel the pain of what they felt, and it can be really difficult. It can be really hard. I do want to go over the findings of some of the stuff with you, and how thankful I am for you guys to verify the information for me. I think you guys were a big help to this, because I feel like I can give out information, but to have the validation, it helps me know that to the future people that I am helping, also the cases that I have lined up, I ask for zero information. I want to know nothing. I ask for a first name only, and you to validate anything once I present it to you. I do not want names of anybody else. I just need a first name so I can channel into that person's energy. I don't want pictures. If say you have a friend that has a lost loved one and you didn't know what the name was, yeah, a picture is fine. I want no information given to me whatsoever. That's how I do my work. I don't go by leaded information to me. What I do is when I do my workings with channeling spirits, or when spirits come to me, I try to get a name. I get information personally about that person and more. So anything that's validated is validated at the end of my sessions with private people, as in like a local person or stuff like that. Never disappointed though, and I think adding on to big cases like this, everybody is special, and I didn't mean how I just said that. Let me say that again. Every person that is taken away from somebody unjustly, I will help as much as I can. I will give you with what I hear, what I see, what I feel, what I taste, what I smell, my intuition, everything. No, I don't take money. I have a day job. Some people can think people like us do it for money. There are people that do it for money. There's nothing wrong with that. For some cases, like say a person's lost and you find the key and you find their missings for them, then that's one thing. I don't take money for people that were murdered or cold cases that were never figured out. I don't take money for that. I can't see myself doing that. Excuse me, I got hair in my mouth. The wind is blowing crazily out here. That's how I do my work. No info, just a first name, fine. And if they don't have a name, just a basic picture. I want no how they vanished. I want nothing. I just want a first name only so I know what I'm channeling. It usually takes me, I like to do a full week work with. I work a full week with it and my findings for some stuff. Sometimes I just do one day. I usually don't tell people to come back. Wait a year and a half or so. Some people, the fake ones you have to watch out for are the ones that ask a lot of questions. Yes, there are sometimes through the readings that you do have to ask a question because something else might be coming through. But if you have a medium that claims that they're a medium and they ask you all the questions, no. Or here's a black candle, go this or that. Just anything weird or outlandish, that's a key to let you know that's a fake person. I don't like to call people fake, but if you have a medium that says, yes, you have to come back to me for a month straight and pay me, then that's a red blinking light for me. Don't waste your time. So that's I have about 20 cases ahead of me. I have loaded messages in my inbox. I do one case at a time. I don't do more than one, so I don't get information from each case. But there are times, like this one, if there are multiple things going on at once, you're going to get a very broad reading. You're going to get things that don't make sense to you, and then they will in the end. It just takes a lot of time. So that's why I say one case at a time. But now that I've talked your ear off, I want to tell you about some things that you amazing people found and you brought it to my attention. and I'm very thankful for that. I will reread some of the stuff so I can remind people of what I had said in my previous videos. So let's start off with Dan, because Dan played a big part in this. Dan was somebody kept coming across. He was a big white male, very strong, jeans, black boots, black jacket of some sort, like a hoodie or jacket. There's two theories for him. Well, one I know of for sure. Dan was Mollie's mother's cousin. His name was Daniel. And Dan and his wife, Dawn, were murdered in 1979. One of them worked for a bank, I can't remember which one. And there were people that actually abducted them, stole their key. They also were murdered. They were found dead in 1979. Tricky part's coming. So the numbers that I was getting, the several numbers, like the 5, it was like 5, I wrote it down, but 5, like 5211 or 57211. I believe that was a combination that he was ordered to open up the combination, I believe it was said, and after that they were both murdered. And so that would make sense why I kept hearing key and Dan was the cousin of Mollie's mother that was murdered. Their killers were brought to justice. They were found 6 months later on V21, which is a piece of land on the farmers' land that are actually all over the news. I believe it's Yarraby's farmers, or I'm just going to say the ones the killer actually was employed by. Her cousin's bodies were found on their land. So V21. 21 was in the number. Also, what I thought to be I thought to be the combination to the safe when they stole the key from Dawn and Dan, and then murdered them. So that was the big ding for me. Mollie was found on Highway 21. So that's the second 21. Also, Christian, the killer, aka the killer, lived two and a half hours away from Mollie, under 3 miles. So that was just some points I'd like to point out for certain things. Now, it stated that he stole an ID pass of some sort to make it look like he was legal. He took it came to mind, because he took it from me. Now that can reference to the ID, or that can go back to the bank thing with Mollie's cousin. So that's why I got so in between about things. I just didn't understand some of the the coincidence or the. But either way, on each end, something is coming up in the positive sense of, yes, the validation is there. I did hear the whole, the last few days, I've heard a few things, 72, 74, and 76. I heard Des Moines. I heard that was the 72, 74, 76. And then, football. That's what I was trying to think of. Football. That came up too. And then the very last thing that I saw, which struck me odd, was I saw a woman at shoulder-length hair, brown. She had jeans on and a sweater, it was a sweater, I would say. It went down almost to her kneecaps. And she had pointed to me, not to me, but as in the vision, she pointed and she said, there her body is, there it is, there it is. It's under the hay. But I just didn't understand what the significance of that was. Was that saying Mollie was there before, and this was another spirit telling me? Was she put there first, or am I dealing with someone who's taken more lives in that area? It was a farm. So I'm beginning to wonder here what we're getting into, because the farmers are coming an awful lot up into this now. Political came, was it the night before, 2 a.m. I was laying there, and it was very, very loud, and it was very right there, political. And I just couldn't find what it meant until it hit me on some things here. But also, I wanted to let you know that I have about 4 mediums that have been messaging me and asking for my input on things. And I just said I couldn't figure out what the water was, I couldn't figure out what the cabin thing was. And, well, where Mollie was found, there was actually a pond there that wasn't far off. And there's an actual river that runs through there where she was found, but a little bit of ways away, which, okay, there's that validation. Then the cabin, which made sense because it was like a homely cabin, but it was really old. And I couldn't figure out, well, if it's somebody's house, why wouldn't they try to update it in the vision? And then it didn't, they either couldn't afford it, or, well, now I know, the farmers, they house immigrants on their land, some ways down in some dilapidated buildings. And when I saw it, it was the same exact roof that I had saw. It was like, bam, there it is. So the cabin came up. To me, it was a cabin, and it's there is lots of trees around there, so it just made sense. That was the validation for that. Stab, that was in yesterday's news, and my husband's jaw dropped because hearing stab, it was like hearing stab. Yes, I do believe it's gonna come back. She was raped. I do believe the strangulation part is what boggled me a little bit, because it didn't look like hands strangulation. It looked like a very thin piece of rope, or even a wire, what looked to be. But then it hit me, okay, he didn't strangle her with a rope or a wire. He slit her. He slit her throat. So I'm sure that's going to come up in the news next. I'm hoping I'm not hoping that that's what happened to her. I mean, I'm hoping that is validated, because that was like, kept boggling my mind. Like, what is that? It's so thin and so little, but what the hell could it be? And I'm sitting here talking with my husband, and I'm like, honey, I think he strangled her with a wire, like from behind. Like, and then she fell, and boom, she smashed her head, and it was just awful to see, That's what my thought is on that part. I do feel like a ring is playing into something. The ring that she had on her finger. I think the ring that she had on her finger, I possibly think that was from her mother, that she might have given that to her as a gift of some sort. So I'm thinking that's why she kept referencing, tell my mother he took it, tell my mother he took it. Which obviously her life and innocence, big time, yes. But something about that ring that obviously we don't know. I was trying to find the reading that I did for her. It was pretty The last reading I did yesterday was pretty set. Oh, sorry, I was just looking in my driveway to see if one of my kids were here. The reading I did the other day, some things came up, and I'm just going to read to you what I got. And I heard what I heard. And when I did this reading, I felt a shift of feeling that he doesn't have a split personality. So what I'm thinking is something's really strange. And I'm going to say this, something strange in the matter of, I don't think he was alone in this. I don't think it's a split personality. I do think he's sick, because obviously, who's not sick if you kill somebody in that manner? Yes, I think. But I kept coming back to the white male, the white male, the white male. Very tall, very tall, very tall. And there's two things that, one came to mind, and just a theory of mine. So a thought popped into my head, but then a theory I thought of. But I'm going to read something to you. This is the reading I did the other day, and when I had channeled Mollie's energy again, some things had came up that just, some of the stuff you're going to hear that I have already stated, but it's crazy because it keeps coming up. Material actions, choices, troubles, resentment. Think about this, resentment, and then I'm going to say something else to you. Balance restored, gain, healing through forgiveness, broken romance, difficult upheaval, set right, tree. The tree of life came 4 times into my reading. Unseen purposes, remain sealed. Now, I want to give you some insight onto something that's making me feel strange here. Difficult, sadness, betrayal, broken, emancipation, freedom, unexpected development, good news. And I thought to myself, well, good news, the only good news that could have came out of Mollie's disappearance was to find her and lay her to rest, because we knew she was passed. Good timing. Water again. Mollie's a very passionate person. This is where, okay, if Mollie steps in during my reading to you on this phone, you're going to know it. Just as you guys know, so you know, female spirits come to me on the right. Male spirits come to me on the left. And if it's both, my whole body goes haywire. Deceit, an affair. Cunning man, arrogance, impatient, abuse of power. Weakness, inability to hold true. Strong emotional ties. Ties to the lands. Important time in relationship. A zodiac came through, and it's Pisces. Deep, significant change. So, I'm going to say some things. One that I felt towards, and there's a theory. I feel there is a deep, and I mean deep, deep significance towards, I don't know how to say their names because I don't give that much look. The farmers that employed Christian. There is something huge going down in that area, and I will say I came across a serial killer that is active in the area. I also came across an affair of some sort, abuse of power that tells me there are things going on down there that I'm going to get further into in a minute. Strong ties to the land. Now, strong ties to the lands are farmers. Deep, significant change. I think that has to do with Christian, as well as Mollie. When I get deceit and affair, I'm going to say some things, and I hope that you guys do not think badly of me. I don't really want to say this, but I have to say what I feel, and I have to say, I think Mollie was having an affair with somebody else other than her boyfriend. I could be wrong. Just remember, this is only a feeling. It's a deep feeling. Abuse of power. Now, for me, this is coming through as a police or law enforcement or the farmers. I'm getting two. Inability to hold true. I think that has to do with Christian. Strong emotional ties to the land. I believe that's the farmers. Important timing in relationship. Deep, significant change. I think that has to do with Christian and Mollie. Betrayal broken. A woman that knows something. A woman that knows something came up to me 3 times. Also, a baby. So, either Mollie could have been pregnant from this man, or it's the woman that I keep picking up. She's a blonde. And that could be Christian's girlfriend as well. She has a baby. But I keep getting a blonde woman, a blonde woman, a blonde woman. Like, I've picked up on this woman from day one, and I don't think it's Christian's girlfriend. Unseen purposes. That has to do with Mollie's murder. Also, that leads back to the other things I'm going to discuss with you. Broken romance. Now we know that can mean Mollie's boyfriend, or this affair thing that is coming through for me. Everybody's going to gain healing through forgiveness. Unhealthy desires. Troubles. Resentment. Resentment. That part for me, I could cry right now because I have a heavy feeling in my chest, and resentment. Resentment can mean a lot of different things, but I think resentment is the person of the blonde woman. Okay. I do believe this affair rings true, because I'm actually getting something from Mollie right now. I'm hearing stop. A shame. I'm sorry, Mollie. And I hope you're not upset with me. This was very hidden. My arm is on fire. I do believe the woman, the blonde, she is the one that resented Mollie because she found out. And I think we're going to get into something very big here. Remain sealed. Remain sealed is going to be... Remain sealed has to do with 3 purposes, I think. Abuse of power has to do, again, I had that come up twice. Violent emotions. Difficult sadness. Betrayed. Broken. Dominant. Tyranny. Cruel, cold man. Loneliness, insecurity within. Untrustworthy man. Ending in violence. I am going to get into some other things that came across my findings. When I heard her say, please don't, obviously, that was when her life was going to be taken. I still haven't figured out what Diane's boat dock and marker was. That is one thing that I can't figure out. Her in her visions. Obviously the marker, I think, represented Mollie's, where Mollie would be found. I'm already starting to get marked up here. I don't know if you could see my wrist. It's getting red. It's like saying stop. The whistle. The whistle is very broad and creepy. The guns. The guns was on, I believe, Christian's Facebook page. Hunter. Fishing. That could have been two things. Obviously, he hunts women. He hunts them. As in representing the deer is the hunt, is the female, and is the innocence, and the hunter is obviously the killer. Split personality, I'm going to go back to that. This is like I'm getting touched on my right side, and I saw a vision of hands pulling feet on somebody's on their back. I see legs, I see feet, I see pulling towards, and I drag. It's definitely not who they're saying. And political is keep popping through. You know, I have a feeling and a theory that, and I really don't want to add this part into my video because I really don't like to bring political things up. I believe political means, and I feel that whoever killed Mollie knew that this would come up in the investigation, as in it would be about immigrants. And this is that's their cover, and that's the word that I used. That is where is the list that I had for you? That is the unseen purposes. I believe this is where it goes to unseen purposes. I believe there is an active serial killer in that state, and I also believe the farmers have a huge play in this role, because political comes back to that family big time for me. So I'm trying to figure out political, but I feel like it has to do father type, but there's something very wrong about the sons. But there's also something very wrong with the father as well. I have a very heavy, like somebody sitting on my chest, like holding me down, which tells me I keep coming back to their land. I keep coming back to things are being said as I'm speaking, and the crazy thing is Des Moines is coming back again. Des Moines. What about Des Moines do I keep hearing for? He's there. Who's there? Him. I'm getting him. He's there. Des Moines. Which is going to bring me back to the farmers. I think they own land in Des Moines. I feel they own land in Des Moines. I'm pretty sure they own, yes, they own land in Des Moines. I'm beginning to think here. We got serial killer, I hear. Serial killer. Okay. There's a serial killer in Des Moines. Also, I believe, and I also believe, Diane and I also believe sex trafficking is playing a huge part in this. Abduction. Okay. I'm hearing abduction. Wow, this is turning out to actually be someone's giving me information. Abduction. Okay. I believe there's going to be more bodies found. Okay. I think these farmers, I think they play a huge part in this investigation, because I think politically, what does political mean to you, Mollie? He's politically incorrect. What does that mean? He, who is he? Dane. Okay. Father. She's talking about Dane and his father. Okay. I'm beginning to think here that there's going to be quite a few more bodies, which is going to lead me into my next part. I'm trying to be patient here and listen and see if she's going to give me anything else here. I feel like, yes, okay. This is going back to this is how I get when I talk about these farmers. It's like I'm being held down and suffocated. Again, I will say there's an active serial killer in that town, or that state, excuse me. There are currently 400 people missing. I got the numbers 72, 74, and 76. I also heard Des Moines. Again, I feel those farmers own something down there. And I also think there's buried bodies on that property somewhere, somehow. Starve. I'm hearing starve. Who starves? Who is starving? Them. I also came across a funny phrase that was said to me. All clear, all secure. Yes. Okay. I feel like this is being covered up. I have a theory and everything. I feel there is a connection. Somebody is using somebody to cover something up, but in high places. This is what I'm getting. High places. Yes, okay. All clear. All secure. Now, I think we know who uses those types of phrases. Military and law enforcement. So this is what I've heard. I think these farmers, something to do with political, something to do with law enforcement, and it being hidden, unseen purposes, hidden purposes. Okay. Excuse me, this wasn't what I was expecting to do on live camera. Okay. So I'm going to get back to some of the things. I'm sorry, I have to stop her right here because when I get the effects like this, they have to back off because I will become physically ill. I can pass out from this kind of stuff. That's all around me here. When I kept seeing the color blue, like I said, another thought was that was a blue ribbon representing the memory of Mollie. But I do now believe that those were blue cornflowers representing cornfield. Also, when I had seen the cabin and the tall weeds, I had turned to my right and I saw a picnic area. Sorry, I have to take a break for a second. I saw tall weeds and I looked to my right. I saw a picnic area with a blue blanket, but nobody was sitting there, and it had food there, and it hit me today that meant blue represented blue cornflowers, food represented corn, as in we eat corn, it is food, it is our consumption for us. So I think that was also my hidden hint in some way. Food represented food, which would have been corn, and the blue represented the blue corn flowers, but it came in, I perceived it as blanket. The blue blanket kept coming up through the whole way through. I kept seeing her wrapped up in a blue blanket, which meant blue cornflowers. I'm sorry if I actually feel I'm feeling drained of my energy, and I feel sick now because I have the heavy feeling, heavy, which tells me somebody was killed in a way and such. I also have another person that has been coming through. That's how I found out about the serial killer. I saw multiple women standing in a field, and they just looked so lost and so blank and so bleak. So that tells me there are way more bodies than just Mollie. I'm trying to think if I missed anything here that I wrote down for you. Barn is like barn, eyes rolling up into the head. Her mother, I couldn't figure out what was the connection to her mother. Something about her mother kept coming up to me that was odd. I couldn't understand it. It felt like something broken, like something was broken on her mother's side. Like her and her mother were they were mother and daughter, yes, but they weren't. Something was broken in their relationship. I could be wrong on that. I could be seeing it and representing it, seeing it wrong how it was represented to me. My friend Diane sees a white wooden fence, circle on the building. I'll get to that in a minute. She got the numbers 37112. That was a number that I couldn't remember. I wrote it down. 52117. 7 kept coming up. 7 kept coming up. The reason why I think there's an active serial killer as well is, and sex trafficking all in one in that freaking town, is when I saw the list of people after I saw the women standing there, I realized there were older and younger women, which gave me an idea and a feeling and a theory that 13 to 17 of age range, most of them are missing through that range. Now that tells me that is a sex trafficking ring as well as a serial killer, because the women I saw, they were already dead. So for me, that's a serial killer pattern. And then all the missing children from 13 to 17. And when I say that there are many, and I mean hundreds, so I'm thinking 72, 74, and 78, that has to do with Mollie's murder personally, as in that is, I think, what's playing into Millbrook in Mississippi. Millbrook actually has 4 people that are missing from Millbrook, Cedar Rapids. Mississippi River is what runs through Iowa. So I think that's telling me all that water I saw in 4, I also think, excuse me, my papers almost fell away. I think 4 of those people on that list were killed and dumped in the Mississippi River. Now, like I said, this is heavy, heavy, heavy shit. So I think Mollie's murder had to make it look political, as in someone made it to look like the immigrant. I know he showed the body where the body was. I know he said he stabbed her. But I also think, because 222 keeps coming up, and this white male, I think the white male was in every step of the way. Either he's the serial killer I'm seeing, but I seen him taking Mollie and killing her and raping her, and I seen him strangle, and I heard stab. I think he plays a huge part in this. Either he did it and he's taking the blame and they're making it look political. That's why I heard political, because everything in the news that's going on right now, if you notice, my voice has changed. I actually am having a hard time breathing as I'm talking to you because of what I've been shown and what I'm hearing. When I have multiple spirits around me, my energy is drained very rapidly. I think Millbrook, Mississippi came through in those 4 numbers, because I think whoever killed Mollie killed 4 women from there. And that's why I'm getting all those women in the field. And Des Moines, I also heard in the news, like I looked it up for a reason because it came to me several times. That's the sex trafficking area that is huge in that area. So I think there's a serial killer. I think sex trafficking, and they made it politically motivated because they knew that that could take, how do I say this? Manipulate the investigation, as Mollie said. That's how they're manipulating the investigation. They're making it about immigration status when really the killer is in plain sight, like she said. He's right there. But I keep hearing he's in the picture. So for me, I'm going to think either the farmers are the ones, and I'm going to ask this of you people with an open mind. when the farmers did the interview with the media, they did not say anything about Mollie's cousins being murdered and it was on that land. They said they've never had an issue. That's a lie, because Mollie's mother's cousins were murdered and placed on their land. What would be the perfect cover-up? I think the father is having women brought in to sex traffic. What a perfect cover-up that could be. He's a well-known person around town who helps immigrants with work, houses them on the land, and who would the public believe? Unseen purposes. Are they going to believe an immigrant? Because their legal status is, if they're illegally, you already look like a liar. Use your open minds, people. Now, I want to go back to this black vehicle that they saw circling the night before Mollie disappeared. I want you all, right now, after you watch this video, to go back and you find that video of the van that was on the news, this black van that tried to pick up another runner, tried to belligerently tell her, get in the vehicle. Now I want you to think about this. This man did not get out of the vehicle and chase her. He sped off. I also want you to zoom in on that picture of the man that was in that black van that tried to pick up another jogger. He has a salt and pepper beard. He looked to have glasses on or sunglasses. That was 400 miles from where Mollie went missing. The very next day, Mollie went missing. Now, I want you to think about something. I want you to picture the father of the farm, and then you're going to look at that picture of the surveillance video. And I also have something else, but I really don't want it. It's like a waste of my time to even mention it, because I'm getting strongly, and I say strongly, when I get this overwhelmingness on a live video, this is telling me my answers are ringing true. There's a mail trying to come through now. So I'm thinking this is hitting it head on the money. Boom. Look at the surveillance video of the man that tried to pick up the other jogger the night prior to in another county or a state, or it was in Iowa, but I just don't know what part of Iowa. I remember seeing it on the news. But when you zoom into the picture, it was an older man. He didn't try to get out of the vehicle and chase her down. She was in feet, inches from him. Why didn't he get out and run after her? Because it tells me he couldn't, so he sped off. Look at the father of the farm in Iowa. My tongue is going numb, okay? I'm wondering if I'm being told to be quiet. Numb your words, quiet your words. The father from Iowa of the farmland, he has crutches. He cannot walk without crutches. So I'm wondering if he's the same man 400 miles away and came back home because he couldn't get the person to bring back home himself. So I'm wondering if he's using them immigrants to take women for him, for sex trafficking, or possibly worse. I do believe there are quite a few bodies out in that state. Being on farmland, I'm coming back to farmland again. I'm hearing farm. I'm seeing the hay again. So I'm really thinking that we're going to see here a lot of bodies being pulled up. I'm just wondering, what about law enforcement? And who does he know in law enforcement that would cover this up for him? If I've forgotten anything, I will do another video. But I think I've got it hit right on the money. So It just, these police are being very tight-lipped even now, and I'm thinking it's very odd on their part. I think something's really wrong here. I think there's a huge cover-up. I know that sounds like a conspiracy theory, but I'm not, I am definitely not at all unsure about this. I feel very strongly. I've seen visions of farmlands again, over and over again, even after Mollie's passing. So this is telling me, and that would make sense as to why I heard her say he's still out there, which could go to the spirits that I picked up in my vision. That could actually mean, or it could mean to Mollie, as in Christian is not the guy, because when I asked Mollie who did it, I saw a white male, I saw the black boots, the black jacket, the jeans. Dane and his father are giving me very, very, very strong emotions. So I'm thinking that the serial killer's right under their noses. He is connected in some way, somehow. I think when I heard Des Moines, I think there's land owned by these farmers in Des Moines. Somewhere, some way, somehow I feel it. I keep seeing farmland. And that also happens to be sex trafficking area. So if there's anybody out there that can validate this kind of stuff for me, I would really appreciate it. But that's why I couldn't hit it on the nose, because I kept saying either two men did it or he has a split personality. And I feel now that it's not a split personality. He's being used. He's being manipulated, as he either did it and somebody did it with him, or this was an accident. He was supposed to abduct her for them, for sex trafficking. And it went wrong. I can't get the affair out of my mind's eye, though. Affair keeps coming up. Affair. I think Mollie is a wonderful person. I don't know if this is meaning her, but that's when I said affair. That's when I started feeling very, very, very over emotional, and I feel like I'm being weighed down. And I kept getting embarrassment. Mollie has nothing to be embarrassed about if she was having an affair. Some people handle things differently in life, and if that was what she was pointing me to, that tells me the blonde woman I'm picking up knew all about. Well, I kept saying a blonde woman knows something somewhere. She knows all about something. There's a baby. Which could also mean she might have possibly had something to do with Mollie's murder or disappearance as well. If this woman has a child or children, that would make sense. But I keep seeing baby. I'm wondering if Mollie was pregnant and in some way he killed her because he didn't want maybe his wife to find out, or maybe the wife knew and maybe her and he did it as together. I kept saying two, but the white male and a blonde woman, a white male who took her life and the blonde woman that knows something all about it. So when I said in the beginning that I didn't think Christian did it, I didn't see. But then it goes back to Mollie wouldn't be able to know it was Christian because he was an unknown. He wasn't an immigrant. That's why we got the farmland. That's why we got the cabin. That's why we got the water. That's why just many clues came through to identify the location. Because how could she locate somebody she didn't know? Which brings me back to the farmland. And I'm getting heavy on my side again. Every time I swear I mention these people, I'm feeling like I'm being suffocated. So I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to regain myself, and I'm going to clear myself out away from the energy. I'm going to back myself away from the energy. I'm going to cut ties with it as of right of now. I'm not feeling well. I do have a man and a woman here. So that's why I'm being drained and dragged on both sides. I feel weighed down. I feel like I'm being suffocated. So I'm wondering if that's what it is, a man and a woman, a man and a woman. I think there is a shit ton of stuff that is going on very badly under their noses down there, and I think there's a huge cover-up. There is law enforcement that is, please forgive me when I say a cover-up somewhere in the law enforcement, because that could mean a specific person. It doesn't have to mean police. It could mean police, but I'm getting all clear, all secure. For me, I feel law enforcement says that. I'm getting pulled to law enforcement. So we have a politically motivated something, law enforcement covering something up, a serial killer, sex trafficking, and Mollie's murder, which is being covered up politically. Politically. Yes, politically. So whoever killed her knew it would be politically motivated, as in to sway towards the immigration motive, and hidden, unseen, hidden. So that makes sense, okay. But again, I'm going to stop this video. I need to regain myself. I feel very ill. I'm very tired. I have to clear away from, I have to make these people back off me. I'm being shown. I think I'm getting, I heard Mollie, so I know it's Mollie, but it's another person, so this could be her cousin, Dan, that has passed on Daniel, and possibly his wife, verifying my information. So more, as I was speaking to you, more stuff came through, but now I need to stop talking, because every time I reference the people that I've referenced about the farmland, I'm becoming, so I think the people that were taking lives down there are coming to me all at once, and it's just completely screwed me up. So I need to gather myself. Any questions, please message me, or just message me through here. I know a lot of people want to contact me for private readings, as well as other things to help them look for the missing in cold cases. I'm trying to come up with a way, maybe possibly get another phone, because this can draw attention to the wrong people and people that can be found out about things. So I will get an actual phone, another phone besides my private phone, so in case there are more, I can actually add a phone number for you to give to you to speak with me privately over my phone. I just have to gather myself. I feel very sick now that they came through, and I'm seeing things, and a lot of things are coming through. Visions, touch, smell, hearing. I gotta get off the video. I have to go regain my strength. Okay? I'm sorry for the sudden, but it's time for me to stop now. I feel very drained, and I feel very sick, and I actually feel pain in certain parts of my body. I feel pain in my head, my throat, and I feel it in my chest. I feel it in my stomach. I'm having pains in my feet. It's time for me to get off the video and clear my energy, give myself a straight clearing. So I do apologize. If you guys can verify anything for me, please do so. Validation is a big part of my work. So thank you very much for listening, and this is the video that I said I needed to say.